Okay, we are now joined by one of the two open drivers who clinched their way into the Daytona 500 live on Sunday, 2:30, live on Fox. And that is Justin Allgaier. We'll go right to questions for Justin. We'll start over here to Jeff, then go to Zach, and then Tim. Oh, we'll start with Tim, and then we'll get a mic to Zach and Jeff.
Justin, Tim Packman, Heavy Sports. Pressure coming down this year, was it less because you did it last year? Was there a little comfort level rolling into Daytona this year?
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I thought there would be less stress, and I felt like for me the stress actually went up because I just think the expectation of last year, what we were able to accomplish, the effort that put in, and when you know something and you're able to do it once and you're able to kind of understand it, you feel like you're going to come back in a lot better capacity, and we did that. I mean, really, if you look at where we qualified, I think we ended up 14th. A great effort. I mean, that's a fantastic qualifying effort. You're just short of the top 10. So, we were all standing down there. We kind of cheered, which we knew there was still an opportunity to make the second round and all of us have to go. But, we just felt like there was so many good cars left and we kept seeing them not beat us. And then you sit there and start second guessing everything. But I think last year we made it so exciting on Thursday, and it was really cool and it was special. The moment was cool, but I feel like this year I can go through the duels and we can work on the car in a way different capacity that it allows us to go for the 500 and really feel like we're competing for a win and competing for a great position. So I think it's just different, but really proud of our team. I mean, Greg Ives, this whole 40 team, they've put a lot of hours into making sure this car was fast, and obviously it's showing that way.
Go to Jeff.
You mentioned it a little bit, but see, you are ahead of LaJoy, so you think you're in initially, but then is there a moment where you're like, whoa, like we got to rerun, possibly, like let's hold off?
Well, we just told the 67 because the 67 cheered when they thought they were locked in, and I said, hey, wait a minute, you might have to run again. We might all be in the top 10. And I think it was more just the relief of knowing that we outqualified the 99 because – for example, the 67 is in the top 10, right? He's 7th. So, that buffer of time was a half a tenth probably, or a little over half a tenth from Corey to myself. So, we knew that it was going to be extremely tight. But I think just beating the 99 and knowing that if they're in, we're in, and we have a shot at a second lap, I felt like what we saw in practice, our strength was going to be that second run, right? We knew that second run, we had a little more speed in practice. Some of these teams seem to flip-flop that. They were able to get that first lap to be a little faster. And so, I was confident that if we had to run a second time, we were still going to be in and fine. So, I think it's hard to contain that emotion. You sit out there and you watch car after car. And I said something, if you look at the draw, right, there's nothing worse than going out first and second and then sitting there until 25th, knowing that if you're up there, you got to wait on somebody to knock you off. And it came down to the last guy, right? And last year we missed qualifying in by 9 1,000ths. This year it's 4 1,000ths the other way. So, you can never take those moments for granted when it's just a little bit of speed, and we definitely didn't do that tonight.
Zach.
Zach Sterniolo, NASCAR.com. Justin, far different emotional swing than last year was for you guys, but how do you handle that sort of, okay, kind of in, and then just battling that again?
Yeah, I mean, I think, last year was so different emotionally, and I think, too, there's a lot of I think everybody in our group feels the want to go be better this year, right? Like last year, we wanted to get in. We wanted to make laps and get junior motorsports on the racetrack for the first time and do all these things, right? And we hit all those markers, and we finished in the top 10, and it was great. This year, I think everybody has the mindset of, like, we've elevated our game. We've elevated our program. It's just, like, this guy right here is awesome. And everybody here at this racetrack loves him, right? There's nothing worse as a driver than feeling like you're going to let somebody down, right? And not doing your job in the best capacity that you can. And so I think that this year was just different. So when we got in that situation and we knew we might have to run again, I don't think it mattered. I think, you sit down there and Greg said, I don't think I've ever cheered for people to beat me. I'm not okay with this. But at the end of the day, to be as far up in the grid as we are, we still got to run the duels, right? We still have to finish well. But I just felt like it was such a relief to get it done tonight and not have to worry about tomorrow.
And obviously, we're also joined by owner of Junior Motorsports, Dale Earnhardt Jr. We'll continue with questions. Zach, you have a follow?
For Dale, we were just talking about the swing of emotions on pit road after the 99 didn't beat you, but then you still had to wait out the top 10. What was that like from your perspective?
Well, I really, we got told how this process was going to work leading up to the race. I really thought it was a great idea. I know that it was very similar to what happened last year, but it just seemed like it was streamlined, a little cleaner, with the top two getting locked in and then the rest of them racing through the duels. And so I really love that process, however it played out for us. So appreciate NASCAR kind of cleaning that up, making it easier to understand for everybody. And it was fun. We got here today and we had some nerves, and I kept thinking, man, this is why it's fun, and if it was all handed to you, it wouldn't be as much fun. And so coming down here nervous and scared and standing out there worried and wondering if you'd run a good enough lap, I mean, that really is the payoff to being in racing and motorsports. It's anxiety and stuff, but it's really, really enjoyable because when it works out, it's such a great feeling. So just enjoyed the process, enjoyed everything about that out there. That was kind of neat, wondering whether, did we build too good a car? I was worried about our speed compared to last year, and then we were joking about being too fast and being in the top 10 and having to rerun. But no, it was great. Corey's, hate it for Corey. He's going to think about everything he could have done differently to just get that tiny little bit, because the driver thinks that that's the difference is behind the wheel. And I know he's probably wishing he'd get another chance to run to do something different. But because you can, as a driver, make up a little bit of time and do things right. But, I think he'll have a good shot at it in the duel. And we'll go out there and see what we can learn the rest of the weekend. Just be a little – he's still got some nerves and anxieties to go through with Xfinity and all that good stuff for Sunday. So work's not over.
So we got a follow from Jeff, then we'll go Tim, and then Kelly.
I don't know if you guys have thought through what you want to do yet in the duel, but what's going to be the balance of protecting the race car versus going out and trying to learn something?
I want to race like hell, but I don't know if I get to make that choice. Greg Ives has done such an incredible job, and so I think him and Justin will get together and they'll sort it out. And the plan that they have won't just be. I don't think it'll be a plan about the entire weekend, encompassing everything they need to do to put themselves in a position to win the Daytona 500. And so I'll likely have to buy into whatever that is at the end of the day.
For the record, I would love to have like a camera in the car to see his reactions, because I feel like last year I heard all the stories about how the nerves and wanting to race and wanting to back off.
Greg's in real trouble this year because I'm a winning crew chief now. It's the last time I was at the Daytona 500. So I'm gonna be over. I was over his shoulder last year, going, "You sure about that?" Everything he was trying to do, he's probably just wanting to swap me off the box. It's gonna be worse this year. So
I will.
Oh, I'm likely, yeah. I mean, I've got way more confidence now, right? To get on the radio and mash the button and have.
I will say though, it is weird. So like, we are both excited we made it. Greg's down there going, man, I wish we'd have gone a little faster and I could have been going for the pole, right? Like, his mindset is so focused on winning and just
He's an
going.
engineer.
Yeah. So his plan for the week will be very all-encompassing to make sure that we have a shot at winning the race on Sunday. And I have no doubt that we got the good leadership that can do that.
I prefer not to. They're like Lamborghinis, right? Is that what Denny said? Yeah. I don't want to pay for any damage until Sunday. We'll wreck the hell out of it on Sunday trying to win, but let's try to keep it going fast and keep everything pointing in the right direction for Sunday.
Tim?
For Dale, were you, from last year to this year, what was your mindset like as a team? And yours as an owner, because a little bit of unknown, but not really because you've done this so much. But coming in last year, you accomplished it. Now this year, knowing you accomplished last year, like, how was your focus change this year?
Still nervous about, wanting the same things, wanting everything just as badly. I think when you go through what we went through last year, it makes you. That was a blast. That was incredible, right?
Yep.
And me and him, we've done so much together in racing, and that was a weekend. I mean, we ran ninth, but it was one I'll never forget. And we did that together, and everything I asked him to do, he's the one that had to go out there and make the shifts and get the car through the last couple laps in the duel. I mean, this guy had a ton on his shoulders. The entire company, he had everything on his shoulders, and brand new sponsor. It just I can't imagine. He does a good job hiding it before he gets in the car. But we had so much fun, and I'm like, man, yeah, I'd love to do that again, and as much as possible, every single weekend. So this is awesome. It's a great treat to be able to come and compete and race at the cup level and race at the biggest race of the year. It's great momentum around the sport, a lot of excitement and positivity, and I'm thankful that we're here for it.
We'll take 3 more. We'll go Kelly, John, and then in the back.
Kelly CrandallRacer.com. So, Justin, going back to your earlier comments, it sounds like, am I getting it correct, that by locking in tonight, like this really, unlike last year, you guys can focus more on racing the Daytona 500 and seeing what you can accomplish?
Yeah, I think last year when we made our qualifying run, we kind of knew that inherently there were some things that, speed-wise, we needed a little bit. and when we got to the duels, it was really even more evident, right? And there's only so much you can do once you're at the racetrack, right? And Greg did a great job of making adjustments, and we worked on all the different things we could last year, but we just felt like we were a little bit off, and we fought like crazy to have the speed that we had. This year, we obviously feel like we have a lot more raw speed, and we're able to do that, and able to do what we did in qualifying, and we hope that translates to a fast race car in the race, but we won't know until that moment comes. But I think with what we went through last year and what we learned, and especially about the strategy and the fuel saving side of things and pit stops, and there were things that we were up against kind of an uphill battle last year, that because it was the first time and because there was so much newness, that this year we can overcome that a lot easier. So yeah, I think we just naturally want more out of ourselves. We conquered last year. It was great. Got a top 10 out of it. But I think if you look at the way the race went, it ended probably better than it should have, right? Now it could go the exact opposite on Sunday, but I really feel like we've done all of our homework, and we put all the eggs in the basket of just being better. And to Dale's point, last year we had fun because it was stressful, but it was fun when it was over. And I think we have the opportunity to go out there and have a lot of fun again this year, but we're more willing to go out there and try to win the race than we were last year.
Is this the same core group? I mean, you and Greg are back, but is this the same core group that went through this last year?
For the most part, I would say about 80 to
80%.
80%. Yeah. We had a couple that aren't on the road anymore, different things like that. But for the most part, this is the same group of guys.
So is this an advantage of, as you said, last year the theme was we came, we saw, we just want to get in this race. It's such a big accomplishment. Is it an advantage, having gone through that, to come back now and say, well, we've been there, done that. We can focus on trying to go out, race, and potentially win the Daytona 500?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think that, the team that we have, we have kind of a hodgepodge. Guys that have never traveled before, guys that have been doing it for years and years and years, right? So we have this kind of eclectic group of racers. And, last year when we went through this, it was a different emotion for everybody. But everybody was like, I want to go back, right? Everybody put their hand up and like, hey, if we do this again, I want to come back. And, those same group of guys and girls that did it this week, they all had the same nerves. But yet they're like, we're ready. We're more prepared. We feel like it's better. The loading the truck was easier. We knew everything went. Just all the little detail stuff. When you don't know, kind of having unknowns like we did last year, it's hard to really fine tune and figure out where you need to really put yourself. So when you know what you're up against, these teams, the teams do every week. It's understated how detail oriented they are, and how hard it is to come in here and to do a one-off and to compete, because it's incredible. You watch them just get cars prepared for tech and get them through the line and get them onto the grid. These guys and gals that do this are no joke, and it's cool to watch them work. And our guys just having that one race last year made a huge difference in how 2026 went.
I would add on top of that, the other thing is that the engine shop at Henry Motorsports really, really delivered this year.
Unbelievable, yes.
Yeah, I mean, over what we had last year, I think it's leaps and bounds better, and that was a massive assist tonight for sure.
Go to John.
John Newby, FanBuzz. So both of you guys have talked about the emotions of this, the stress, the fun that you're having, all those different things. Looking back at last year, your first year team owner, locking in to the Daytona 500, Justin, your first driver for Junior Motorsports, qualified for Daytona 500. Is any of that diminished at all now that's the second year, or is it still just as cool as the first time?
I don't know how it would diminish it. I mean, I don't know. It's like winning your second race doesn't diminish the first one. Or trying to attempt your second race doesn't diminish the first one. I mean, this is, I would say this is like just having more dessert, man. We ate the whole course last year, and we just getting to go back to, go back for seconds at the dessert table and just have a little more, and feel like that we're in bonus time, if you will. This is for both of us in our lives, honestly. It's like we're getting a little extra that, we've already had pretty good careers together and on the racetrack and behind the wheel and all that. This is just like a part of the story that we didn't really know we was going to get to live. So it's pretty incredible.
I'll tell you one thing to add to that is, Chris Stapleton is somebody that it's hard to know what, when somebody's coming in like him that's had all this success in the music business and just what he's accomplished, right? And last year it was so cool. Like we had the rain, he stuck it out. He's like, man, I want to experience it all, right? And he hung out. And as interesting as it is, like, I don't want to let them down, right? But I also, like Chris, you sit there and you're like, man, I don't know he knows the stress of it, right? I mean, he understands it, but like, I don't want to let him down. I don't want him to not have a car on the race on Sunday. And he texted me already. The moment that it come on TV that we were in, right? He texted me and was like, man, I can't wait to be there on Sunday. Those are the cool things that for me make what we're doing all worth it. Like as Dale said, this is never in my life that I expect to get back here to do what we're doing, especially not with Junior Motorsports, right? And when this came about last year, it was like, man, this is just amazing. And to do it again in the second year, it definitely has not diminished. It's a stress in a different way, but it has not diminished. And now we just got to go have fun and enjoy it because it's definitely worth it.
We'll finish up in the back.
Darren Stoltz with Swesh 2. Dale, you're kind of hitting on those same emotions, but, I mean, you've made your love for this track and this event so clear. But how has your relationship with everything here evolved or changed a little bit being an owner, coming back for a second time as an owner instead of a driver?
I think that it's, being able to look at the sport through so many different lenses is a real privilege. I always wanted to be a race car driver, and I thought I would be very fortunate and lucky to be able to have that and do that. I never thought about, I never considered I would have the opportunity to be in all the other roles and positions that I've had the chance to be in, even for a momentary single day, coming out here and giving the command or waving the green flag or whatever, right? So it's really, really cool to be able to see the sport through so many different viewpoints and get an appreciation for all of those roles, being a part of the media through the broadcast booth and seeing the hard work everybody does in this room and the hard work the TV compound does to put the show on. It's just really been neat. So, yeah, I told the folks that run the racetrack here over the years I'd do everything but sing the national anthem. So I don't know
I'd like to
what's
see you
left.
try.
I don't know what's left. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's left.
Well, Justin, Dale, congratulations on this big achievement. Good luck tomorrow in the duel, and especially on Sunday's Daytona 500.
All right. Thank you, guys. Corey's going to get the pole.
Oh, yeah, really?
Yeah, he's P1 and like 6 guys are pretty incredible. Yeah. You like it?